The Transform Your Mind radio hour is a journey through the mind, offering fresh approaches to old problems that plague the African-American woman and youth. Host Myrna Young, life coach, and Arifa Youssef, social worker, discuss topics such as relationships, depression, the single life, how to supercharge your marriage, poverty mindset, and more. Tune in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and transform your mind to transform your life.
Welcome to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life radio hour and podcast. I'm your host, Coach Myrna Young, and today we are going to be having a great conversation with author Keith Leon S., and he is the author of the book, Walking with My Angels. Now, all of us need to be able to communicate with our angels and our guides, and Keith is going to talk to us about how he has been doing it all his life and how we can do it too. So welcome, Keith Leon S. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for inviting me to be with you today.
You're very welcome. Very interested in angels and how I can, communicate with them as well, because they definitely enhance your life. Your agent sent me a copy of your book, and I have read, about half of it. So I understand the story, and I understand, I have a little bit more detail on, on the book than the introduction or the bio that I'm going to give to you. So it's going to help me, when we're having a conversation, I might, throw in a specific thing that I picked up from your book, which is great. So welcome. All right. So, let me give you an introduction into Keith Leon S. Keith Leon is a multiple best-selling author, a book publisher, and speaker who's well known as the book guy. His life purpose book, called Walking with My Angels, a true story, with the foreword by Chicken Soup for the Soul's Jack Canfield, has just been released. Keith has appeared in numerous popular radio and television broadcasts, and his works has been covered by Inc. magazine, LA Weekly, the Huffington Post, Published magazine, and Succeed magazine, just to name a few. I am so honored to be in your presence, sir. He has spoken at events that included Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, Neil Donald Walsh, all people that I love, Joel Boyer, Barbara DeAngelis, Dr. John Gray, Dr. Michael Beckwith, and Marianne Williamson. He's also a member of the Evolutionary Business Council. Keith's passion is teaching people how to go from first thought to bestseller and to create what he calls the world's greatest business card. And he also loves introducing people to their inner guidance system, whom he calls Heavenly Helper. So welcome to the show, Keith. So that is quite an impressive bio. Oh my goodness. I love all those people that you have spoken with and being in conversation with and being on shows with. So very, very honored to have you on the Transform Your Mind radio show and podcast. So transform our minds for us. All right. So in the first question I want to ask you, Keith, is can you introduce your story? Let's say that somebody is, wants to know about your book. Can you tell us about your story and why you wrote the book?
Sure. Well, it's a story of my life and how many times angels intervened to keep me on the planet. Like, I should have died 8 times already and have seen miracles happen to keep me on the planet. And many of those things happened when I was a child. And so even from childhood, I was I had this question, like, what is so great about me that I would be saved and so many people are not? Right? What am I here to do that is so grand that miracles happen to keep me on the planet? And it wasn't until my early 20s that I actually did receive the answer to that question, and I received it from an angel, an earthbound angel.
That's what I was going to ask you. You received it from the angel, huh?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't get to that part of the book yet.
Yeah. That's my favorite part too.
Really? Okay.
It's an angel comes to me this angel is in the flesh, so he's a real earthbound angel.
Oh, you mean the earth? Okay, right. I'm actually in that chapter now. John, right?
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, John.
right.
So,
okay, John.
This,
okay.
Guy appears to be a man, but it's really an angel, and so eventually he ends up telling me that. But he had to do a lot to prove himself to where I would even believe anything he said about that. And then one of the things he told me was that he had to take me from believing in nothing to believing in everything, so I'd be able to live my purpose. So what did he have to do to take me from believing in nothing to believing in everything? And so I write a bunch of those things down. I don't know if you've read them yet, but experiences and things that he took me through and to teach me, and miracles that he performed and miracles he had me perform to just get me to open my mind and believe in him and believe that all things are possible. And then eventually he did reveal my life purpose to me in a very specific way. And as he said, he told me at one point he would save my life. And once he did that, I would have to let him go, because then he would be off to help another person, to keep them on the planet when they would have otherwise taken himself out, like I would have.
Wow. Yeah, I'm at the part right now where he took you into the cave and you couldn't see anything. So I guess that's one of the life lessons and learning to trust. But as you were telling that story, I remembered the movie that is very popular that everyone plays at Christmas time, A Wonderful Life. Have you seen that movie?
I have, and it's it's definitely
it's a similar thing, no?
Theme. And so does any kind of even some true story angel stories like Way of the Peaceful Warrior. When I read that book, I hadn't said anything about my angel to anybody, and when I read that book, I thought that he must have followed me around, in Fresno. He must have followed me around with the pen and paper and took notes, because it was
You're
so
kidding me.
Oh my God, no! I mean, I really truly feel like it's the same angel, even that came to him, and just both of us were people that he had to come and work with to save. So I actually had to omit a lot of things from my story, which there was plenty to share without sharing those things, because there were so many things that were similar that I was like, whoa.
You don't want anybody to say you're plagiarizing, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
From head to toe when I was reading his book going,
wow.
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, interesting.
Right. Okay, so what you're saying is that, like I said, I read the book, and you started talking to angels maybe when you were like 8 or something, maybe even younger, and you talked about all the times that your life has been changed. And I specifically remember the time when this guy wanted you to touch his penis, and the angel said to you, no, you don't want to do that. And so you've been talking to the angels for a while. So you went to the middle where you're with the heavenly angel, but how did you know that these were angels, or not just because we all have voices in our head? How did you differentiate the difference of your angel and voices in your head?
Well, when I was a child, my guardian angel, which that's the voice that I could hear, was my guardian angel, and
right.
he was brilliant in that the voice came from outside of me, and then it would come from different places. So it was like I, as a child, was like, oh, I know where my guardian angel is, because that's where the voice is coming from. So sometimes it'd be up in the ceiling in the corner, sometimes it'd be behind me, sometimes to my left, sometimes to my right, sometimes right in front of me. Because I was a child, I feel that if the voice would have came inside my head, then I would be doubting myself and questioning myself, even at a young age. Like, is that me? Is it an angel? But because it was outside of me and I could hear it, audibly hear it, just like you're talking to me right now.
Then you're kidding. That's amazing.
And everything that he said would come true, right? And like in that situation with the molester, like he told me exactly what to do to get out of that situation. You know, right now, yell, "Mom, Mom, Mom," as loud as you can. And I did.
Yeah, right.
And he says, "Now go home and tell your mom what happened right now." You know, and I go, "Okay." And I just learned pretty quickly that when I do what my angel tells me, everything goes just great. When I don't listen, not so much.
Right.
So it's, you know, that's the thing about when we're children, we learn so much easier and so much quicker because we don't have as much doubt and all the kind of untraining that the media does and teachers and people do over the years as an adult.
Okay. All right. So have you figured out why, I know you said that John, your Earthbound angel, told you your purpose. So I guess I can ask that a little later. But and you're saying that you didn't understand why you were so special before John showed you, or your Earthbound angel showed you why you were so special. But let's say that I have another question on that. So you have figured out that you have an angel, and you figured out the angel, saved your life several times, and this angel is there. But nobody else around you had an angel. So how did that work?
Well, they I think some of them did. They just weren't talking about it.
Okay.
My mother, she just thought she had mother's intuition, is what she called it. But she was a psychic. Okay. She would say, "Don't go out today. You're going to fracture your wrist," because I was like a professional skateboarder, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, Mom, I'm a pro. Leave me alone." I'd go out and fracture my wrist. It was like she would say
I saw that.
And she would say, "Oh, it's mother's intuition." And then there was even a point where my angel advised her at a time when she was manic depressive, and there was a time where she was really depressed, and I guess she just decided that she was going to kill herself and me and my sister, and she closed all the windows and turned the gas on in the house, and a voice told her, "You can't do that, open the windows, turn off the gas." She was like, she didn't listen, and then the voice became louder. "You cannot do that. Open the windows, turn off the gas." So it just became so loud that she was like, "Oh my God," kind of freaked out and turned off the gas and opened the windows.
Oh, wow.
It brought her to realize what she was about to do, and it wasn't until much, much later when she was kind of on her deathbed, and I was telling her that I told people at that point that I should have died 7 times already, and
she added the 8th one, right?
No, but I said when I count them, I only get 6, and so she said, "Well, I guess I should tell you." So she told me that story.
Right. Yes, I actually did see that part in the book. Right. Yes. Awesome. Wow. But that was your angel, though. It wasn't her angel. So, are angels specific? No, your angel, was he anybody else's angel, or he was just your angel?
Well, that was my guardian angel, but here's what you need to know is every one of us has at least one guardian angel assigned to us. And they have 2 jobs. One, love you unconditionally. So they're like your mom. There's nothing you could do that would make them love you any less, right? And number 2 is get you to your predetermined expiration date. There's a time that you've agreed to be here on the earth, and they have to get you to that date. So anytime that you hear, mom lifts car off baby, or you were in the car and you just swerved in a certain way that there's no way you knew how to drive like that, but you avoided an accident. Like any of that is angels intervening to get us here to our predetermined expiration date. So that's the jobs they have, just 2. And meanwhile, they're standing by going, "Oh my God, I can do so much more for you. I can do so much more for you." But because we have free will, they cannot do any more than those 2 things unless we ask them. You must say, "Hey, guardian angel, first of all, thanks a lot for keeping me here. Right? I appreciate you so much for all you've done.
Right.
And now I'm giving an invitation. Some people call it an evocation. I call it an invitation. Right? I'm inviting you to show up for me in all ways that you would like to. I'm inviting you to show up in ways that I will know that you're there. So if you would like to be a voice that I can hear, if you'd like to show yourself physically to me, if that's the way you want to do it, if you want to have it where I ask a question and I go out to the car and the next song that comes on the radio is the exact answer.
Is the answer, right.
I ask a question, I go out into the world, and the first person I talk to says, you know what, and then says exactly the answer to my question. However you want to show up, now that I have invited you, I will pay attention. And I will observe, and then now I'm going to see all the ways that you are showing up for me and have been showing up for me all along. And that invitation, then they can go, yay, all right, let's play. And then they can go to work and start creating. But here's the thing. Like, if you haven't, like you talked about, we talked previously that you went to a course, right? And then somebody was like, oh,
I was just going to bring that up, right?
You have to do this, this, and this, and then you're going to see angels. Well, okay, if you can't just say, like, I've been poor all my life, and I'm going to go to one seminar, and now I have the mindset of a multimillionaire. Right? You can't just go from one thing to the other, because there's a thing called the subconscious mind, which really runs our mind. That's like 95% of it, right? So your subconscious mind is like, never seen angels, never seen any evidence of it, and so don't believe it, right? So you come in with your conscious mind, now I want to see angels. I'm inviting you. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Like most of us, they're not just going to appear in front of us. They're going to start doing subtle little baby steps. Little things that make us go, I bet that was it. Maybe that was it. And they'll do a little thing that you'll finally go, that was it. I believe that was an angel. And then they'll do something a little greater the next time. And so they got to slowly build your muscle, build your subconscious belief system, so that then they can reveal more and more and more, just like my angel did, which you'll read in the book. He didn't just say, I said, hey, you want to hang out after work? And then we got to the house, and then he goes, guess what? I'm an earthbound angel. I'm here to save you, and I'm going to take you from believing in nothing to believing in everything.
Right.
No. Like, get the net, you know what I mean? I'd be like,
right, yeah.
Get him some medication because he's crazy. He had to work up to that.
Yeah, but he's in the flesh, though. That's a little different than you hearing a voice. If I'm hearing a voice that's in front of me or beside me and it's always guiding me, then I'll believe. But it's very hard to believe the person that you're seeing in front of you that doesn't have wings, that is your angel. But yeah, let's get back to my course. Like I said, I believe in angels and guides. I mean, my interest was somebody that guides you, somebody gives you guidance every day, that you can live this life at a higher level, because you're getting guidance from your guide or your angel. So I took an online class where every day we had a different lesson, but the class was based on you actually, like you just said, you're inviting the angel in, right? And when you invite the angel in, you make sure you're inviting just the angel and not any other spirit that wants to come in, because you've got to be careful with that. But they wanted me to see this angel. Like, I had to I had to mentally see the person, and I am not a visual person, and I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't feel anything, and I just stopped. But, I mean, the course is still there for life, and I can go back and try it again. And now that I've spoken to you, I will maybe try it again. But when you heard these voices, you weren't seeing a physical manifestation, were you?
No, I didn't see anything physical till the man, right?
The man came in.
Came to me and proved to me everything, and then showed me everything. So do you agree with this class that you should see your angel, or that's a bunch of crap? I don't believe in any shoulds, because it's different for everybody else. And I think you just tried to take you from A to Z, and it's impossible to get from A to Z with the subconscious mind. So, and especially if you're not visual to begin with, like your angel knows that. So your angel isn't even going to come to you visually, because they're like, she's not visual. And even if I came to her visual, then she probably would think she's a nut and cuckoo. And
I'm very auditory.
Right?
So they want to talk to me out here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's baby steps. It's baby steps. Pray for those little things and start me off slow and build me up, and I'll come with you.
Okay.
I'll come along for the ride.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, we've had an awesome intro into angels in the spirit world. So that's great. I wanted to have a quick question before we go on our first break, because in the beginning of your book, and you just mentioned it again, that your mom was a manic depressed, and you made the comment that she was more depressed than manic. And manic is, but you had some really good times when she was in a good mood. She would take you all night out and buy you ice cream and all that type of stuff. And I wanted to touch on that for a minute, because I just finished a 4-part series on mental illness and substance abuse, which we're going to get to in the second half. And I wanted to just, maybe just have a continuing conversation about what was your experience with your mother being a manic depressant.
Got it. Well, first of all, I'm not a doctor, so I can share my personal experience with my mother and my own personal experiences, because it's a gene that runs in our family, and so I have had some bouts with it myself. So being the depression part, I would say, is being debilitatingly sad for no explainable reason. Feeling all alone, even when you're surrounded by people who care. It's about feeling not seen, feeling not heard, and really an overwhelming feeling of doom that once again has there's no rational explanation for it, but it's there. And then that's the depressive part. So the manic is the opposite. It's the over-the-top gushing. It's like a high, a euphoric state, right? In my mother's case, it got her to do things she would never do unless she was in that state. And like I said, she was depressed so much of the time that I welcomed the manic part. I really did. That was when anything that was fun, and there was so much depression that it was like a reward, I think, for me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good definition and good explanation of the manic depression. Yeah. You mentioned that your mom would be so depressed that she couldn't get up out of bed. Wow. For days on end. So yeah, and as lucky for you, you had your sister that stepped in and looked after you. But yeah, that's definitely a good way to describe it. And it would be nice if sometimes you get half and half, right? But what you said, that your mom had maybe a lot more of one than the next. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
95.5.
95.5, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So let's take our first break, and when we come back, we will dive more into walking with angels, and we will touch on Keith Leon S. Drug and substance abuse. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Looking for yoga pants that fit like a glove and feel like you have nothing on? Then check out myyogawear.net. Yoga pants made from buttery soft fabric and are perfect for running, jumping, and dancing. Over 600 yoga pants and bras in stock. Ships directly from the United States, so no long overseas delay. 5% discount on your entire order with discount code Turkey13. That website again is www.myyogawear.net. That is MYYOGAWEAR.net.
Attention real estate investors and entrepreneurs. Did you know that real estate investors are a primary target for lawsuits? According to the National Survey of the Court data, 25% of Americans risk being sued in their lifetime. However, if you are a real estate investor, you have a 95% chance of being sued in the next 20 years. Leafy Legal Services helps you protect your assets and strategically grow your business and wealth. Leafy Legal Services are experts at the Series LLC and Delaware Statutory Trust, two of the newest and most ideal legal structures for real estate investors. Leafy Legal Services have the most personalized and affordable solutions for setting up LLCs. Property owners are always at risk when it comes to their assets. Anonymity is so important. If you own just a rental house and you own your home, you have to protect yourself and your properties from any potential legal issues. Leafy Legal Services have the right solutions to make sure you are happy and feel secure. They offer cost-effective documentation that suits their clients' needs. For a free consultation and ebook, visit LeafyLegalServices.com. They are waiting to hear from you. LeafyLegalServices.com.
Have you ever wished that you had the information to elevate the conversation at work on how to build a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion? Well, now you do. With my newly published book, A Seat at the Table or Part of the Meal by Kimberly Bussey Lewis. This book will give you examples of intentional efforts that level the playing field and yield dividends for your career and your company. The book can be found on Amazon, A Seat at the Table or A Part of the Meal by Kimberly Bussey Lewis, or on www.motivationalmuse.com. So get your copy today and get your seat at the table.
Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life Radio Hour and Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Myrna Young, and today we are speaking to Keith Leon S., author of Walking with My Angels. And in the first segment, we talked about Keith as his introduction to his guardian angels and his heavenly angel. And one of the things that I took from, one of the most profound statements that I took from the first segment is when Keith said that we all have at least two angels that are assigned to us. And these angels, their job is to get us to a predetermined destination. And that is the job that they were assigned to us to do. But we can invite them to do other things. So we can invite them to be our guide and maybe help us to, to be more spiritual beings and understand our source and our purpose and things like that, which is what Keith's earthbound angel, showed him what his purpose was, which was going from believing in nothing to believing in everything. So awesome. So now, as we move into the second segment, I was interested in bringing up the drug addiction part that Keith went through, because again, most of you listeners on the show right now, we came through our addiction and substance abuse segments. We had about 6 segments in those. So again, I like to continue the conversation. So Keith, in your book, you share your experience with drug addiction. Would you say that your drug addiction was triggered by any kind of childhood trauma, or what do you think your triggers for that was?
My triggers were family drama, being surrounded by depressive people, family fighting, name calling, many deaths that were just tragic, horrible communication skills, and mostly not wanting to think about or process anything that I just mentioned a minute ago. It really, it felt easier to avoid it, to push it down, to mask the pain with euphoria, right, as a diversion tactic from keeping me from feeling the feelings that would come with facing the problems. So growing up, I had no model or guidance for dealing with feelings. I only knew people that, like my family's habit was push everything down, say nothing until you finally explode and say incredibly hateful things.
Oh, wow.
And then people would, say something hateful and then storm out of the room and slam the door. Like that was my model.
What a model! Wow. Are you married right now?
I am, and I took that into my first marriage, but
well, yeah.
but my wife now of 20 years, we started our relationship by kind of telling on ourselves of what didn't work in previous relationships.
Okay.
And we made an agreement to the way that we would do this relationship, and so name calling is that's not an option.
Okay.
And so this has been the best 20 years of my life with my.
Good for you. Good for you. Right.
So I had 13 and a half years with my practice wife, and I learned a lot of what not to do in relationships.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm giving away the story here, but again, in your book, you talk about your angel telling you when you were 8 that there's a girl that you would marry, and I think you end up marrying her. Is this the first or the second wife?
That was my practice wife, 13 and a half years.
Okay, so that was the first one. Okay.
Yeah, he did tell me I would marry this girl up the block, and I did meet her, and I proved to her that he had said that, and we were together.
Yeah.
And we were together for 13 and a half years, and at least 4 of those years were good. And I at one point I realized it just wasn't going to work. He said that we would be married. He didn't say we'd be married forever.
Be married forever. Right. Got you. Okay.
Like I learned what I was supposed to learn. How can I take this to the next relationship and make it even better?
Yes. There's a saying that, some people come into your life for a reason, some people come in for a season, and, some people come to teach you a lesson. So that was definitely, part of your growing pains, to be with her for 13 years. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So very, very good analogy of your triggers for, obviously, you've spent a lot of time thinking about it because that just flowed out of you. About your triggers for drug addiction. But I didn't see in the book where your angel told you to not do it. What was happening then? Did you silence him, ignore him, or what happened?
Oh, like while I was doing drugs? Oh, I was still hearing voices. Only I only listened to them when I was in danger or if it served me and my selfish thinking. So any voice that called me to stop, slow down, or process feelings was dismissed, or tuned out, as you will. But I did. If it was something that was so many times I saw police in my face because I was hanging out with people that were troublemakers, right? And every person I was with could get arrested and be taken to jail, and yet every time I wasn't, because they would tell me what to say to get out of it, And I would do what I was told.
And that's when you listened.
Yeah, that's when I would. And then they follow up with, hey, and you might want to, by the way, slow down and stop hanging out with these people. And then I would just go like, la, 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 la,
that is funny.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm thinking when you say that is in the very first segment you talked about your angels are like your mom. They love you unconditionally. Yeah. So even though you're doing all these things and tuning them out and ignoring them, they're still there helping you out in the next time because it's unconditional love. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yep, yeah. It's beautiful. All right, so now we're going to get to the heart, the main question here. So what is the message that, when you decided to pen this book, what was the message other than the fact that we all have angels assigned to us? What is the message that you wanted the listeners to take away from walking with angels, or my angels, your angels, however you want to say that?
Yeah. I wanted to share with everyone in the world what I know is absolute truth. And so, and that is this: you are directly connected to the source energy that created everything. I call it angels, and you may call it intuition, inner guidance system, inner GPS. You may call it source, God, Jehovah, Buddha. I like to say it doesn't care what you call it, as long as you call it. And so I'm called to share with you that if you're willing to sit, ask, and listen. Now, notice there's three of those: sit, ask, and listen. So we're a lot of people sitting, right? Meditation, prayer. A lot of people asking, why me? Why does this happen? Why? Right? So let me say right now, if you're gonna ask a question, any question that starts with why is not a question that you want an answer to. Ask questions that are how can I be more loving? What can I do to create more, attract more abundance into my life? So how and what questions you do. It's great to get answers to those. So let me go back. So if you're willing to sit, ask, and listen being the most important of those three words I just said, because we're sitting, we're asking, but when do we really sit long enough to get the answer? So if you listen, you can access the answer to any question that you have, because you are in direct creation with the Creator. Your words have power. And here's what I want you to know. You have more power within you than you'll ever know. You have more power in your little finger than you think you have in your whole body. And so my book will show you all the ways that you may have been disconnected from your source. And it will share ways to reopen the floodgates, to start manifesting your dreams and your desires, and to access the inner knowing that you have within you. Because we're all energy, right? And this energy decided to swirl in a certain way and form this thing that we call a body. But there's still the energy that created everything that we are part of and have direct connection to. So just because we decided to drop into a body does not mean that we no longer have access to the energy that created everything, including us. And so it's really about sit, ask, and listen. And listen is the piece that I was telling you about. Like if you evoke or invite the angels, right, to come into your life and show up for you. Well, that's like, and I'm going to date myself, right? That's like back in the day, I used to go to the radio, and there was a big knob on, and I had to turn this knob to the left and right, and there was all this static, right? And I'm trying to get 95.5 KLOS, but I'm getting like static, and I'm going back and forth, and finally I get it right in the perfect spot, and there's the radio station, and it sounds perfect, and it's crystal clear. And I step back from the radio and say, don't touch that dial, anybody, right? Because I now have it dialed in. And
Right.
Like when you develop a spiritual practice, when you're sitting down, you're meditating, you're sitting, asking, you're listening, you're tuning that dial in. And now when you go out into the world and you're looking for the answers to the questions, you're tuning that dial in. You're tuning it in, and you're developing that muscle now that when it starts to show up and pop up, you're like, I see you. Oh, I see you. I see evidence of you. Oh, my God. Oh, you're showing up for me all the time, and I missed it the whole time. Oh, this is cool. And you start to open your mind and to the possibilities, and then you start asking greater questions. And so that the universe responds to us based on the quality of our questions. So the clearer your questions are, the clearer the answer. And the more that you get proof to yourself of everything that I just said, the more then that you start to realize that, wow, everything that I speak comes true. But only every time. If I really kept a journal of everything that I say, it all comes true. So I should probably be careful what I say and what I think. And maybe I want to surround myself with positive people and positive things, positive music. Maybe I want to think thoughts that are serve me and are for me instead of thoughts that tear me down and are against me, because I am in direct creation with the energy that created me. And so that's really the message of the book, is that you are powerful, that your words create, and that you have a direct connection to this thing called source energy that I call angels, and you can call it whatever you want, and it's just waiting for you to tune into it so that it can show up for you and shape your life and mold it into what you would love it to be.
Okay. So that's beautiful. So for someone that's listening who is like a born-again Christian, we talk to the Holy Spirit or Jesus, then that will take the place of the angel?
Yeah, well, even the Christian, if you go in the Bible, there's angels in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I know.
So,
but that's who we talk to. We talk to the Holy Spirit or the guide. So that's what I'm saying. Okay.
It's like
because you said it's interchangeable, whatever you want to call it. Whether you want to call it angels or source or the universe or God or I think that's what you said, right? Okay.
Yeah, it happens as you believe, and like I said, you can't go from A to Z. So it's like if you say, "Hey, Jesus is my guy," right? If I ask Jesus to bring this into my life, and then Jesus produces it, now you're like, "Oh, okay, thank you, Jesus," and then you keep going, right? And the more Jesus proves to you, then the more your mind opens, and the more you start to pray with clarity for things that you want, and the more Jesus gives it to you, right? And so it's like if you call it angel, you call it Jesus, it's all there to serve you. You know, we can't outgive God.
Right. Yes. Well, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful concept. You know, we all need to know that because 95% of the population are into their body as a physical limited entity. But once you tune into the fact that it's spirit and you're limitless and you've got guides and you've got angels and you, just like you said, you can sit, ask, and then questions and get answers. So that takes you from just being a physical body into the spirit world. So, and I knew without even talking to you or reading the book that if we're talking about angels, then we're talking about the spirit world. You're talking about source. You've got to. And that's basically what you just said. So yeah. So that's that's good because and then what you said, you've got to build the muscle. It's not going to happen the first time you sit down, right? You've got to build the muscle and learn how to communicate and how to connect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember my publicist when she read the book, and she's worked with a lot of like people you would know, right? Really famous people. And she called and she said, "Oh my God, Keith!" I said, "What?" She said, "I just finished your book, and not only did I love it, but you have left me wide open. The whole world is available to us." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, like I just read your book, and you did not say one word in that book that would alienate any person from any religion with any belief. Not one word."
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So she's like, I could book you at a Christian church, a Mormon church, a synagogue, a mosque, anywhere. And we're good,
because you're talking about source, right? Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, thank you for that feedback. That's awesome.
That's good. That's good. Yes. It's awesome. All right, so I've got just a follow-up question, and it's just based on curiosity. I didn't see anything about it in your book, but I told you I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was talking about archangels. And so before we go on our second break, just explain the difference between a guardian angel and an archangel.
Okay, well, guardian angel, like I said, we all have at least one assigned to us. Their job, again, love you unconditionally, get to your predetermined expiration date. They're like your buddy. They're with you all the time. Archangels are these kind of more famous angels. That's what I would say. They're like the more famous. Yeah,
like Micheal and some other ones. Right.
Uriel and Ariel and
right.
Gabriel, Gabriel, and they all have things that they're really, really great at. And all the people who have been channeling them for years, me included, we know the things that they're really great at. And so you could go to Google and type in, who are the Archangels? And it is pretty much, we're all going to tell you the same exact thing about them. And so it really rings true in that they are who they say they are, because we all get the same messages. Like, Michael is a protector. He will, protect you, right? Uriel will stand behind you and say, go for it, man. You can do anything. You can do anything, like I just told you. You have more powerful than you know. Go. She's your cheerleader. Gabriel, who shows up to some people as Gabriel, but to me showed up as a woman. Gabriel is what I call her. Because there's no man or woman. It's just how they show up to you in a way that you'll be able to wrap your mind around it and believe them, right? So Gabriel is like the ones who can open doors for you in business and things that you want to manifest. So they all have their certain things, and so that's them having that name and showing up for so many people will have it so that once people do the work and start to manifest and believe in angels, right? Then you can go, let me take it up one step higher, right? Because your belief lets you. And then you go, now I can, so if I'm going into a situation where I go to see this person all the time and they're so negative and it's hard for me to be around them, but I love them. I'd love to just be protected by the wings of angels. Oh, Michael's the protector. Hey, Archangel Michael, I'm going to see my mom, or I'm going to Thanksgiving dinner, or whatever it is, right? I'm going to see somebody really negative right now. Will you wrap your wings of protection around me? Will you protect me, right? And if anything negative comes at me energetically, let it bounce off your wings and hit the floor. Only let the good stuff penetrate your wings.
Oh my God!
Right?
I got some power from that one.
Yeah, and Archangel Michael's like, your wish is my command, of course, because Archangel Michael can be any place and anywhere and be doing that for me and be doing that for someone across the U.S. and someone in Africa and someone in India. There's no limit. And there's no time and space in the etheric world.
He's
so
omnipresent,
all you have
right?
to do is say, Archangel Michael, will you, ... And he's like, of course. And so, they're there to aid us and assist us when we need assistance in certain things.
Okay. So you start with your guardian angels. Okay, so you start with your guardian angels, and then you step up to the archangels. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, once you've got enough proof that you're starting to believe in, you're like, angels are true. I'm seeing evidence of it all the time.
That is so beautiful.
And then you can step up and work with them for a while, and then eventually you get to the point where you realize, oh wow, so it's all me. You know what I mean? I can also do these things. I can throw up energy around me that protects me from negative energy.
Wow.
And then all negative hits the floor. I can do that because I made the image and likeness of Source itself, and so is Archangel Michael. Oh, I can give myself the loving thoughts and support that would help me move forward like Uriel did if I believe in myself. And
That's so
know
beautiful.
that I can do anything. And so that's the ultimate takeaway from my book, is that you are that you are.
Wow.
Jesus said, I am that I am. That was Jesus realizing that he was in direct connection with Source, God, Spirit, Energy, and that the things that he said came true all the time, right? He was like a little big, giant prover of law of attraction. He would say, this is going to happen, and it would happen, right?
Yeah.
And then people would go, he'd perform a miracle, and people would go, you're a miracle worker, and he'd go, no, it wasn't me, it was your belief in me.
Yes, your
faith.
It
was actually you.
Yep.
It was actually you,
your faith.
but it was your faith in me. So if you had the faith of a mustard seed in yourself, you too could do everything that I do. And he said that all day long, and I think people missed the message that he was saying. I like to say,
it's the most important message. Yeah.
Yeah, if Jesus was walking the earth today, he'd be walking around with a mic going, is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Are you hearing me?
Hello? Walk down water. What else do you need?
Wow. This is powerful. This is powerful stuff, because what you're saying is so true. And it's just 2 days ago, I was doing a meditation, and I was meditating on the fact that the energy that flows through me is the energy that created the world. And you're saying exactly the same thing, Yes, it's the same energy. So it's the energy that creates worlds is It's part of you. You're that energy. So it's amazing. Yes, and it's all about belief. Is definitely what you're believing, and whether you believe that you're finite or you're infinite, or did you have the power of the power of the I am. And yeah, it's but you know what happens is because we're also physical, and it's very hard to trick the mind to think you can do all things when the physical body can't. So it takes some practice, and you are, you've been at this since you were a young boy, so you have perfected it. So you have definitely perfected it. So all right, so that is awesome. All right, so let's take our second break, and when we come back, we will talk to Keith about how you can get a copy of his book, and then I'll have one final question. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. I know you want to get this book. If you want to change your life and connect to source, this book will teach you how to do it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Have you ever run out of gas on a deserted road with no cell service? Or got lost on a solo hiking trip? I Am Canary is your answer. When you travel, you deserve the peace of mind. IamCanary.com will send digital messages when you can't do it yourself. This service can also be vital if something happens where there is a cell phone signal, but the person can't call for help themselves because they have either lost consciousness, seriously injured, or other reasons. I Am Canary will send alerts to family members, local professionals, or emergency services. A simple membership plan is free, and with it, you are never completely out of touch. So join today and feel safe to adventure worry-free with IamCanary.com. That is IamCanary.com.
Attention real estate investors and entrepreneurs. Did you know that real estate investors are a primary target for lawsuits? According to the National Survey of the Court data, 25% of Americans risk being sued in their lifetime. However, if you are a real estate investor, you have a 95% chance of being sued in the next 20 years. Leafy Legal Services helps you protect your assets and strategically grow your business and wealth. Leafy Legal Services are experts at the Series LLC and Delaware Statutory Trust, two of the newest and most ideal legal structures for real estate investors. Leafy Legal Services have the most personalized and affordable solutions for setting up LLCs. Property owners are always at risk when it comes to their assets. Anonymity is so important. If you own just a rental house and you own your home, you have to protect yourself and your properties from any potential legal issues. Leafy Legal Services have the right solutions to make sure you are happy and feel secure. They offer cost-effective documentation that suits their clients' needs. For a free consultation and ebook, visit LeafyLegalServices.com. They are waiting to hear from you. LeafyLegalServices.com.
Have you ever wished that you had the information to elevate the conversation at work on how to build a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion? Well, now you do. With my newly published book, A Seat at the Table, or Part of the Meal, by Kimberly Bussey Lewis. This book will give you examples of intentional efforts that level the playing field and yield dividends for your career and your company. The book can be found on Amazon, A Seat at the Table, or A Part of the Meal by Kimberly Bussey Lewis, or on www.motivationalmuse.com. So get your copy today and get your seat at the table.
Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life Radio Hour and Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Myrna Young, and today we have been having the very illuminating conversation with author of the book, Walking with My Angels, Keith Leon F. Now, we're almost fresh out of time, so I am just going to have Keith tell us how we can get a hold of his book. And I know, Keith, you told me before we started talking that you're in California for a month and you are doing some seminars or some live events. So you can tell the listeners about that too. So go right ahead.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, first of all, to get the book, go to walkingwithmyangelsbook.com. So walkingwithmyangelsbook.com. And the reason I send you there instead of straight to Amazon is because when you get to walkingwithmyangelsbook.com page, right there there'll be a button that says, click this button to go to Amazon. And so you go there and you purchase the book either as the Kindle, softcover, audiobook, however you like it. And then you come back to the site and you put in your order number and you will receive over $1,600 in bonus support programs and products. So I didn't want you to just read the book,
That's
be all
amazing.
excited. Like you go to a seminar or church or whatever, and you're just like, you're all pumped, and then you go out into the world, and then you're like, you get the wind blowing out of your sails.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to have that experience. So you will get bonus support programs and products, and this way you can put into practice in your everyday life the things that you've learned from reading the book. So it's like a video from me and some people from the movie The Secret that you'll know, and a lot of people donated things because they believe in me and my work, and they donated things to you for purchasing the book. So you go there, and then if you want to find out what else I'm up to or what other things I might have to support you, you can go to Beyond Belief Publishing. So Beyond Belief Publishing, there's a page for events, like you said, where you can see where I'm speaking and what I'm doing. But there's also other support programs and products. Like I was telling you, I love to surround myself with positive things. So that includes everything, like music. So I have recorded many CDs that are the things that I needed to hear to keep me laser focused and positive, right? And so and so it's done that for a lot of other people too. So you'll find CDs, you'll find cards that are the Archangels, and I asked 11 different Archangels if they would please give me messages that they want you to hear. So there's 40 cards, and if you take that, shuffle that, and get your energy into the cards, and then every day you pull a card, that card will be what that angel wants you to know that day, and then you can use that out into your day. So for you, if you're not seeing an angel yet, right, and you're not you're still like, well, I'd like to see proof or whatever, you pull a card, and then you go out into your day with the message that they gave you and watch everything unfold in ways that show you the evidence of what you read.
Amazing.
It wouldn't be long. You'd be like, I'm on board, Keith. I am on board.
I'm on board. I didn't say I didn't believe. I just couldn't see.
Well,
I believe. This is why I purchased the program.
Gotcha.
But I couldn't make it work for me. But at least maybe I had too big of a expectation. But anyway, wow, how amazing. So walkingwithmyangelsbook.com, that allows you to go to Amazon, purchase the book, come back and have up to $1,600 worth of support material. That's amazing. And I'm pretty sure you probably have something from Jack Canfield, right? Because he wrote the foreword for your book, who's a great person as well. Do you have, you said a lot of people, submitted things, right?
Yeah, Joe Vitale and
Okay.
From The Secret, and Marcy Shimoff, she did.
Okay.
And another angel guy, his name's Robert Clancy, who's incredible. He has like some of his meditations and
Wow.
just a whole bunch of friends of mine who endorsed the book and have been great
Wow.
mentors, teachers, and friends for years. They were all like, "What do you need? What do you need?" Done.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And then we've got the Beyond Belief Publishing, talking about the Archangels. I'm so glad that I stuck that question in there because that was not part of the original conversation. But you have something on the Archangels, so that is amazing. Yeah, and I so love your just little example of how you can have your angel protect you. You know, I felt the energy rush through me when you said that. I received that. So that's amazing. Love that. Awesome. All right, guys. So we are at the end of our show. This was absolutely amazing. We deviated from our life coaching and mental health topics, but I'm so glad that we deviated to source and spirit and energy, and how you can take your limited physical body and transcend it to do great things. Ask your angel, how can you be better in the world, or what can you do? And like Keith said, you don't ask why questions. So not like, why am I here? Why am I not rich? You know, just frame it a little bit, frame it a little better. Keith, it's been absolutely a pleasure talking to you. Now, everything you talk about, I believe. Everything you talk about, like I said, I've had a little bit of background information on. And I know that having guides are so important. You know, I get up in the morning and I meditate, and what I'm doing when I'm meditating is I'm listening for inspiration. And a lot of times I get inspiration, and whenever I get inspiration, I know that it came from my guide. I never called it an angel before. You know, now you gave me that word, but I would call it a guide, and I definitely do. And I feel that I'm connected because I get inspiration, and it usually always works. So, and every time I get it, and I know that it's coming from that inspirational place, I act on it immediately, because I heard that when you act on it, then you're going to get more, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and inspiring us, Keith. And hopefully, the audience will rush to your website and purchase the book and get the additional support materials. And definitely go and get those Archangel cards, so that we can be creating in our life, and asking for help, and walking with the angels. And I love that word. Yeah, you're walking with your angels, because as you're walking, they're giving you advice, and they're telling you what to do and what to say. So thank you so much for being on the show. Any last words?
You're welcome. Last words always from me are going to be, you make a difference. So if you're hearing my voice right now, I want you to know that you make a difference in this world. And truly, this world would not be the same without you. You could have saved a life today when you smiled and said hello to that stranger. They could have been feeling like nobody saw them and we're going to take their life that day. But the fact that you smiled and said hi made them think, maybe, wow, that person saw me. Maybe other people see me. Oh, wait a minute, maybe my family would miss me if I wasn't here. People assume that we know the difference that we're making in their life, so they forget to tell us. So for every person who forgot to tell you, I want to tell you for them, you make a difference. This world would not be the same without you, and thank you for being the gift of you.
Wow. Powerful words. You have a way of singing words that I'm feeling the energy all the way from California to Florida through the airways. Yes, so very good. Yes, angels are definitely, maybe it's coming from your angel because I'm like feeling the source energy. So that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was positive. So I'm hoping that everybody receives it that's hearing our voices, that, yes, smile, be kind. Yes, recognize. I always end the show with the word namaste, and that is, I see you and I recognize the God that's in you. So, and so I do the same thing now. I say namaste to you. I recognize the God in you. I recognize the source in you. So once again, thank you, and namaste to everyone that's listening.